kindness. Dear Father, for your blessings that you give us. Dear Father, the offering we're about to take up, we ask your blessings upon it, and we ask your blessings upon each and every one here tonight. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Text Will, tell him we're streaming live.
Well, it's called.
Oh.
Don't have to be redundant. Well, we just didn't turn it on.
Who is probably the meanest person you know that has become a Christian? Feel free to bring them up and say them out loud if they're in here tonight.
Oh.
No, the person you know, personally know.
Rex Spencer.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about him.
Rex Spencer became a close friend of mine. His family, I love them dearly. I picked up the children and take them to church. But he had no need of the church whatsoever. One day, his daughter's Volkswagen broke down. And I thought, well, this is the opportunity. And sure enough, it did turn out to be an opportunity. I had an opportunity to be with him. He wasn't baptized under my ministry or anything. Till later on, somebody called me and said, Rex Spencer will be baptized. Today, I left the church at Paris. I made it to where he was baptized. And I'll tell you, it really, really meant a lot.
Well, good. Gary, you pointed at Brenda. Tell us about that.
She's just the meanest person.
Oh, just the meanest person.
I don't know where you're going with this, but I know that when I was in college, there was a big hoopla over the fact that Jeffrey Dahmer, while he was still alive and incarcerated, had accepted the Lord and become a big advocate, which of course he was later then, he died there. But yeah, that's kind of hard to wrap your mind around.
Yeah, and a Church of Christ preacher, instrumentalist, Church of Christ preacher, the one baptized him. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know him though.
You didn't know him. What you know about him?
Are you talking about mean or
I'm
just
talking mean like Jesse
evil?
Taylor, or I'm just talking about hard-headed, or...
Well, I like to think about Leroy, because Sue became a Christian after she and Leroy were married, and she was so active, involved, and she'd come over here, and that's when they lived there, and she would come over here and mow the yard and stuff, and he'd get so mad at her, and then when he became a Christian, I don't think the yard was ever mowed for a long time that it wasn't him, so he made a complete turnaround on his attitude to the church.
No, yeah.
We had a man in Artemus, I never knew him personally, V.F. Jackson, who pastored the Baptist church for many years. Mm-hmm. But in his young life, he was quite a different person.
I've heard that. I heard he was a bootlegger and everything.
But his daddy was a...
He shot a man? Did he? Wow. That's one way to bring him in, isn't it?
Yeah.
There was a guy at our church. His name was Bob, and his wife became a Christian long before he did. And she literally, if you were to look at her 15, 20 years ago, even today she still has that quality. She looked like, who's that French actress? Sophia Loren. Oh, she just looked just like her. Well, Bob is 6'9", and was a good guy, but wasn't a Christian. And but he absolutely would have nothing to do with the church, just like what Orville was talking about. we had a revival one time, and the revival speaker happened to know Bob. Bob lived in a different part of the country, and the revival speaker happened to grow up with him, and I forgot where it was. But Bob came to hear him, and all week long he came to church, and on Friday, Bob came forward, and here was this, the revival speaker, probably a little shorter than me, and comes up, and Bob has to basically get on his knees to give him a